cook like a Greek. What does that mean? For Greeks, food is love, and the kitchen is the heart and soul of the Greek household, where the family shares meals and spends time together, where the matriarch, or in my case, the patriarch, dispenses advice and food. Lots of food. All the food. And that's what this show is all about. A little bit of advice, a little bit of cooking, and a lot of love. Welcome, my friends. Today we will be making pasticcio, also known as macaroni pie, also known as the Greek answer to lasagna, though I like to say lasagna is the Italian answer to pasticcio, because ask any Greek, Greeks invented everything first. But first, we'll be going to the Greek Dad advice inbox. Hey, Greek Dad, what advice do you have for someone who gets really anxious anytime they're faced with a huge project at work or at home or at school? Perplexed Project Planner. Well, Perplexed Project Planner, I have great advice for you. I would advise you get about 80 bucks or so and invest in a good single malt Scotch whiskey. It's not going to help you finish your products, but it definitely will help with the anxiety. No, that is horrible. I am not in any way promoting the consumption of alcohol to deal with stress in life. Not even if you have a wife and kids who just never listen to you and drive you crazy. You should never, ever turn to alcohol of any kind. And as a Greek, I'm obligated to mention NUZZO as an option, or retsina, or any other good quality Greek wine. But none of those are valid options to deal with stress in your life. I do have better advice. But before we get to that advice, we're going to get to the ingredients. We have 2 pounds of cooked penne pasta mixed with a cup of Parmesan cheese. We have 2.5 pounds of meat sauce. I provided a link that shows you how to make it. I did that in a previous episode. Next, we have the ingredients for the bechamel sauce. We have 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of flour, 10 cups of milk, which is about 1.25 gallons. We have 8 eggs, severely beaten. We have 3 cups of Parmesan cheese. And now we have the baking tins that we're going to use to make the pasticcio. And finally, we have a cup of Panko breadcrumbs mixed with a cup of Parmesan that we're going to throw on top of it all before we bake it. I try to drop a hint when I introduce the introduction, Perplexed Project Planner, on how to approach projects. As you can see, I broke down pasticcio, which is a fairly complex dish, into 3 smaller components: the pasta, the meat sauce, and the bechamel. And the bechamel was broken down into smaller components. So keep that in mind, and I'm going to sum it all up at the end of how one should approach facing big projects. Okay, the pasticcio is ready to go in the oven. The oven has been warming up at 350, and it'll take about an hour. Obviously keep an eye on it. When it turns golden brown on top, it's time to take it out. All right, it's gonna bake. We're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna taste it, and I'm gonna sum up all the advice. Okay, the pasticcio has been baked. Took about an hour and 15 minutes or so. It's a light brown color, darker brown around the edges, that's fine. We let it cool for about an hour. If you don't, trying to take pieces out is impossible. As it is, the first piece is always a disaster. The second piece is a little bit better. Third and fourth pieces are a lot easier and they look a lot better. All right, we're gonna plate, we're gonna taste, and we're gonna sum up our advice. Here is our beautiful piece of pasticcio, plated. Now it's time to taste it. All right, this is pasticcio. It is time to taste it. Make sure we get the beautiful shot. Here we go. So good, so good. I'm gonna have to put this down because I will keep on eating it. It combines pasta and meat sauce and like creamy Alfredo on top. It's not really Alfredo, but it's a cheesy cream. Oh, it's so good. Okay, Perplexed project planner. As I hinted at making the pasticcio, when I broke down the ingredients or the components of pasticcio into 3 separate categories: pasta, meat, bechamel sauce. And then the bechamel sauce is broken down into its individual ingredients. Much like that is how we should approach any big project we're facing, whether it's a work project, a school project, a home project, personal goals, whatever. You separate the big goal into smaller parts, and those parts into even smaller parts. Give yourself easy to achieve wins and take each step that'll help you eventually get to the goal you want to achieve. You have a huge project that starts with you doing something on your computer. Just like that movie, What About Bob? Take baby steps to your computer. Baby steps to turning on your computer. Baby steps to opening up the right program that you need. It sounds silly, but creating these small wins helps you build up momentum that you need to complete huge projects. So with that in mind, go forth and be successful and take confidence that you can do anything. Don't look at the big daunting mountain that you have to build. Just focus on each individual rock you're putting into place, and before you know it, you'll accomplish great things. The food has been tasted. It's beautiful. I can't wait to dive back into this pasticcio. The advice has been given. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed making it. Thank you very much. See you next time. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to follow this channel and like and share the video. If you're looking for advice, or you want to say hi or send a message, you can find me on Twitter at HeyGreekDad, or you can find me on Facebook. You can send a message to @TheGreekDad or find my Facebook page, The Greek Dad. If you're interested in any sponsorship or product placement opportunities, you can go to thegreekdad.com, cook like a Greek. And don't worry if you didn't get all that down, because it's all in the description below. Thank you. See you next time.